Hi, I'm Jared Harper. This is my interview for Religion 130. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Amita Patel, and I'm doing this interview for my good friend Jared because my faith is Hinduism, and you can start asking questions now.
Could you tell me your personal experiences, such as how you got involved with Hinduism? How has the religion affected and shaped your life?
Well, I got into the religion because I was born into it. My mom and dad are Hindu, therefore, I was brought up with the Hindu customs and culture. And then how it shaped me, it's made me realize that everything from a little tiny grain of rice to a gigantic elephant should be appreciated and respected. Because Hinduism, well, my branch of Hinduism, we believe in that basically everything should be appreciated and that everything has a life and that their past lives they should be appreciated as well because they are reincarnations of other people.
What are the most important traditions and rituals in the practice of Hinduism?
Well, my specific branch of Hinduism, we have two holidays that are the biggest throughout the year, which is Diwali and Navratri, which is basically a 9-day dance festival, which is also called the Festival of Lights. For 9 days, we dress up in our cultural outfits, which is called a Janya Jodi, and then we get ready, and from 7 o'clock at night to like 12 o'clock at night, we dance around basically a statue of Lakshmi, which is our mother god, basically. And during that time, we're praying for wealth and good luck and basically happiness to bring inside our homes. That's why we call it, well, in my language, we call it Lakshmi Garmao, which means Mother God, please come into our house. And we're basically just praying and hoping for good luck and prosper in the family.
So, on that note, are there any religious stories that are important to you specifically?
Yes, actually there is. Even though it doesn't follow through with Diwali, which is our Indian New Year's, or Navratri, there's always been like stories about how the gods came to be, such as the story of Ganesh. As we all know, Ganesh is the god with the elephant head. But how was he born with the elephant head, which has always been a mystery to me ever since I was little. And then one day my mother told me the story after watching basically a religious show about it. And basically the gods Krishna and Radha, they want to have a child, but for some reason they couldn't have one. So Radha, what she did, she prayed to the gods and she said, please give me a son or any child that you can give me. And the gods said, please spread this basically mud on your skin, and before taking a shower, rub it off and sculpt it into a child that you want it to be. After that, you shall have a son after you have done taking your shower. Now, what Krishna didn't know is that he didn't know that he had a son, because he didn't know that his wife was doing this deed. And then while she was taking a shower, her son came to be, and he went outside to protect the home, to protect his mother, basically. And Krishna came home, and he didn't know who this foreign boy was, and basically they both got defensive over Radha, and it was a huge misunderstanding. And basically the end of the story is Krishna cut off his head, killing him, but Radha came running out of their house saying, you've killed our son, you've killed our son. And what Lord Krishna did, he said that the first person or animal that walks in front of our house, I shall take their head off and put it on the head of our son, and put it on the body of our son. And what had happened was an elephant had crossed by, and that's how Ganesh got his elephant head figure. And the reason why he's pictured as an elephant head with a big round body is because the other story lies by that he never talks. And the reason being is that he doesn't talk, he only listens, therefore the big ears, and that his belly is so big because he keeps everyone's lies inside his stomach.
What entities do you pray to most often? What do these entities provide for you?
Well, as any religions, like I've said, I'm in a completely different branch of Hinduism.
What
Like,
is that branch specifically?
there's really not a branch. I don't know the specific name for it because there isn't a specific name for it.
Okay.
But we have different rules to follow by. Like some branches of Hinduism, they're allowed to eat meat on certain days. My branch, however, we're not allowed to eat meat or anything like that. No eggs, no nothing. And then what special deities, like I was saying, different branches believe in different things. And my branch, basically we worship the following main gods: Ganesh, Krishna, and Lakshmi. And those are the three main ones that we worship because they all are supposed to give good luck and prosper to the family.
Okay. What religious figures are important to you?
Well, religious figures, there's actually one that's alive, and his name is Sai Baba. And Sai Baba is basically, there's different forms of Sai Baba, and they're all reincarnations of the first original one, but they're just passed down through him. He's actually an amazing person because if I've went to go see him in person before in Footpati in India, and you can really see him basically regurgitate a golden shivling out of his body, and it's clearly amazing on what powers they possessed. And he is actually a very big figure in my culture and religion because of the powers he does have and the sheer fact that he still stays pure to his roots and he's not corrupted with power like a lot of priests and saints and basically religious figures have done.
Do you feel like there are any barriers in your life from your religion or challenges?
Yes, actually there is. Ever since 9/11 happened, a lot of people have the misconception of our religion to be very violent when it's quite the opposite of it. We don't believe in violence. We are on this earth to protect and maintain the sheer beauty of this earth, and we don't promote violence and everything like that. And another barrier would be basically coming from a polytheistic religion. A lot of monotheistic believers don't accept our views, but however in Hinduism we say that God is God, therefore say Jesus or the Shinto gods or anything, we also accept those into our religion too, because God is God. No matter what you do, he or she is God.
So are there other misconceptions about your religion that you'd like to change?
Basically, a lot of people always ask why we take off our shoes, why do we walk without our shoes when going into our temples, and a lot of people that go to church or something, they have their shoes on. The reason why we take our shoes off is because our shoes are considered to be dirty, and therefore if you go inside the house of God, you don't want to dirty his house by bringing your dirty shoes in full of mud and dirt. So it's to show a sign of respect, just like how in a lot of, let's say, Asian or Eastern cultures, you're supposed to take off your shoes, and that's basically where that comes from. You don't want to dirty someone's house because you respect them, and that's how we show our respect to our God when visiting the temple, because that is his house.
So how often do you pray?
Basically morning and night, and I pray at my temple that's inside my house, which is called a mandir. It's basically a smaller version of like a big temple that you would see in India. And the cool thing about it is, if you ever notice at Indian people houses or the temples in India, they're all faced so it's where the sun rises. You never put your temple where the sun sets. You always put it where the sun rises.
So can anyone become Hindu, or must you be born into the religion?
No, that's actually a misconception because the Beatles actually were Hindu. And so you don't have to be born into this religion to be Hindu. A lot of times, like Hindus that are born into religion, they might be like skeptic and wondering why someone outside their race basically becomes Hindu, but there's no judging, and this is not a religion that you have to be born into. We accept all kinds because everyone's made equally.